Another edition of Clan Chat. Aaron Murphy, delighted to have Gary Haden for us. He's back in Canada. He's getting ready for a big season with the Purple Army, season number 2. You had a magnificent opening campaign last year, 24 league goals, another 4 in the Challenge Cup. Maybe just tell the fans of the Glasgow Clan what you've been doing this off season to kind of get ready to keep up those high standards in year number 2.
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, I just want to let all the fans know I'm very excited to be back. Kind of ups and downs of last year, but they stuck behind us through thick and thin, and I really appreciated that. But no, other than that, I've just been hitting the gym, working out lots, being on the ice. I coach hockey camps all summer, so when I'm not doing that for my personal gain, I'm teaching kids, trying to grow the game, and I really really enjoy it. So yeah, it's been a good summer, but I'm ready to get back to it and get back to work. So I'm counting down the days, about a month till I leave. So
Well, I know the Purple Army are excited to have you back for season 2. All of us behind the scenes, Coach Jason Morgan, Assistant Coach Jeff Batta, everyone's excited about you having a season 2 with the Glasgow Clan. Talk a little bit about last season and maybe the changes that sort of made you think, another year would be good here. The ownership changes, all those sort of things, Gary.
yeah, obviously with the new owners taking over, that was a big thing, and they seem like they're bought in from the get go, which was awesome. And then when they announced Coach Morgan as being the head coach, we had a conversation very shortly after, and I thought it went very positive, and I was really excited. And like I said, with everything that had happened last year, like it was like the fans kind of sell it, not really sell it, but it makes it a lot easier. You have a great city, great fans. Now you have great owners, great coaching, and I'm sure, and I've seen all the signings. We have some great players coming in, so I'm really excited, and I'm happy to be back on board.
Yeah, we've been putting in the hard yards. Jason Morgan, Jeff Batta, all of us behind the scenes. Kind of the recruitment's in full swing. The roster looks good so far. There's some other massive signings to come. Is there anyone in particular that you've seen has been announced that you're really excited to get on the ice with?
For forwards, definitely, Philippe Sanche, having played against him last year, he was a real thorn in our side. You always have to watch out for him. So now that he's on the good guys team, it'll be, if we get a chance to play together, that'd be awesome. And Charlie Combs too, looking at the numbers he put up 1 year in this league, it was quite impressive. So for forwards, that, and other than that, I'm excited to see the goaltending tandem we're going to have in the cage. I think it's going to be, 1A, 1B for sure. Like looking at their numbers in the past, they're really really good. So I'm just really excited overall what everyone else is going to bring to the table.
When you look at it from a personal standpoint last year, your statistical output was magnificent. Maybe the wins weren't there at the start of the season. There was a great sort of dash to the playoffs, and then really gave the Belfast Giants something to think about in that two-legged quarterfinal. Any sort of highlights from last year that stick out and something you want to grow on this season?
Making the playoffs was a huge for us. After the start we had, obviously it was not ideal, and a lot of people did count us out, and we used that as motivation. So kind of building off that, I think is huge. Obviously a better start will be necessary to finish higher in the table. So, now that's my second year, you kind of understand more how the league works. The Challenge Cup obviously does mean something, but those regular season games, especially at the start of the year, are very, very important. Like last year, we let 3 or 4, maybe even 5 games just slip out of our hands when we could have got easier points. And at the end of the day, we still made the playoffs again, but it would have made our lives a lot easier than having some must-win games. So no, just building off of that and just trying to play consistent hockey is kind of what I went at last year. Just worrying about taking care of my own end, and then just shift by shift, trying to string good shifts together. And then when you tend to do that, you tend to find the score sheet a little bit more, and just playing with lots of confidence as well.
Yeah, it's a great point you bring up because a lot of guys, whether they're coming over from Sweden or Canada or whatever, and you've got the league, you've got the cup, and then you've got the playoffs. There's a lot of different things going on, and that's something now. Your second year in the league, you can let some of the new guys go. That's going to be, someone like Lynch, his first year in the league. You can say like, this game in October is just as important as a game in April. So it's an important point to make to some of the new members of the clan.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially, North American schedule, you're looking at, maybe 70 games ish, where the regular season is only 54. And like you said, you might not think that game in November after a long day of travel, maybe it's not going to add up in the end, but it really, really will. Like we kind of left it up to chance last season. We were, waiting to see the Guildford Fife result. And obviously I don't ever want to do that again. A little nerve wracking, but when you take care of business earlier on in the season, it helps you in the long run for sure.
And trust me, we're not building and recruiting to have to worry about math on the last weekend. So we're with you on that one. Such is the world we live in. Our previous clan chats, we've asked the Purple Army to reach out on social media with a few questions. So I'll throw a few at you. George Deacon, with the current team being put together, do you think the clan could bring some silverware this season?
Of course, I think that's your goal from day one. And especially you've got a lot of, veteran presence up front. And like I said, the great goaltending tandem, and now our back end's really coming together. I think, it's all about meshing as a team and whatnot. And when it comes down to it, really bearing down, and it comes down to, obviously you can't win without good goaltending. So it starts there and it goes out. And I think if we all worry about doing our jobs, it'll all come together as a team with Coach Morgan's system. And I sure really hope we do bring home some silverware.
Jane Neal asking, was life as a pro hockey player all you thought it would be? And what were the upsides and downsides of your first year as a pro?
That's a good question. Honestly, there's no downsides. I left school. I left school because that's what I wanted to do. I couldn't handle another year of school, and it's the best job in the world. Like I can't. Ever since I was a kid, that's all I've ever wanted to do. So like just kind of living the dream day to day, going to the rink, just trying to get a little bit better every day. Taking care of your body on days off. Other than that, like some challenges are travel, but really in the grand scheme of things, it's really you come back home, and I work a construction job for the first few months, and it humbles you real quick, and you realize, how amazing it really is to play this sport and, get paid to do it. So yeah, it's the best job in the world, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah, sometimes when I have that sort of 6 a.m. flight to East Midlands from Dublin and you're up at 3 in the morning, you complain, and then you realize I'm going to cover a hockey game. Like we've got it pretty good when we get to be around the game, don't we?
Yeah,
Glasgow Clan Live asking, what was your favorite away rink to play in last season and why?
that's a tough question. There's lots of good road rinks. I always loved Belfast has got to be one of them just because the atmosphere, and we always get a good traveling support as well. And that they have a good crowd. Honestly, like for not, for Fife, for the rink, but not so much the rink, but even just the atmosphere, because you can feel the rivalry, and especially like that last couple of games of the season when we went to Fife, and you knew everyone knew it was on the line, right? And our fans are so loud, and obviously the result went the way we wanted, so that I always like playing in Fife, and I would probably say up there Sheffield as well. Because again, good traveling support, and also we had a big win in Sheffield there in December. It was awesome to have some support there as well. So
We're quite lucky, isn't there? There's good rivalries with the Scottish teams, and then you look at that double weekend in Belfast. You're right, the Purple Army travel en masse, and it becomes a bit of a caravan or a festival of hockey. So we're quite lucky with the Glasgow Clan to have the Purple Army. I know every fan base says it's the best fan base, but even last year when things weren't going well at the start of the season, that they came and supported you guys, and that must have meant a lot to the guys in the room, and certainly will mean a lot to the guys this year.
oh, it was phenomenal. Like I couldn't believe it really. Like going to my first year pro, you don't really know what to expect. And that was even one of the things that when last year was in contact with the club about signing, I was just, using the internet, how we have it at our fingertips, Googling YouTube and seeing the Glasgow Clan live videos. And I was just like, oh, like this is crazy. This is awesome. Then obviously start not the greatest, but that first win we had home win against Manchester was kind of awesome too, just to have everyone, it was like kind of an exhale, like, okay, we've got one, now we can go. And ever since then, they were, we're fighting for the eighth spot, but you would have thought we were fighting for a league championship the way they kept showing up. So it was awesome.
Well, let's hope we're fighting for a championship of one of the three on offer this season. Gary Haden, thanks for taking the time to join us on Clan Chat. Enjoy the rest of your season back home, or your off season back home. I know you're training hard, and I know that we're going to see the best of you come this season in year number 2 with the Glasgow Clan. So thanks again for taking the time to join us.
Awesome. Thank you very much.